that particular point when you think, I'm Bruce Lee. Lights on the feet. Then you gotta make a move, yes? The other one would not sound good. Wash up. Yes. Red. How are you, Columbius? Very kind, thank you. You ever had a good day? That's good. How's it going with you? Dude. Dude. Lacht. Under the scripts of lacht. Hi, cool hand. Can it look taut? Liked. Ooh, talk out. Let's hope the internet works here. Warm up, neat. You don't doesn't mean you won't. You won't. You won't. Very kind, thank you. near to adroit talk. Violence does what one does near violence. Fair lady. I don't think it goes with the right particular quote. Won't you talk then? Kai. Kai. Oh dear. And the dreaded talk means does what one does then near violence because of what one will do right now. My fair lady was from, you get to like one, like a particular features talk, all and you haha Mokoyen said do I have the authority to put them in the corner? Hands here and no bad. 1 minute. How do you feel of the stereotype personality, character that you would not fall under? You wouldn't have known it. Do not. And stereotype can near, we talk near violence here. Stereotype can near what particular slur, curse, or whether it would help you, motivate you, whatever that means then. Stereotype nears. Have I uncovered you in a particular, not a curse, not a slur then? Have I found out that the script that you really are was the move from stereotype to race? You talk we with whatever's near, with whoever's near to you. Whatever's near to you, one must understand what the truth is. Have we uncovered a special one? So it's not really stereotype, it's race, but they have not presented it to the world. So really, are you in for? My file lady was Indian. We know that. We know that. Mock away. Comedy, humor. And you continued the same quote wherever you were. Do you not understand that anyone can talk the talk that you talk? What do you present in terms of the literature results that you have? Do you have that on CV? What the results were for you that particular day? Sir. Madame has a mustache? Well, if Madame's not got a mustache, you are now under sir, not ma'am. Guy, they always love particular talks in a particular place. You cannot avoid the particular talk, so we would have to go through the talks then. Even though it will put you under talk, you have to go through the particular talks because you ain't the owner of the land and you must fit into the society, the community that's now present. You must fit into the world like you do. You must fit in a certain manner, otherwise one would not relate at all. And it's we in a team. It's we to just talk, and that will create union. Wow. You need to hand reasons. Please tell. So you have already presented that you are not that particular person. Oh, did you consider? What would you have considered when you made a presentation? To make up their, well, when they are chairs, I wouldn't want to know what goes behind there. Current, wire. Ooh, that's gonna burn now. That's gonna hurt. So now that one's uncovered you from the points of talk that you are not a stereotype even, but you are a racer, what will that dictate? What will that tell you inside? What you really were, what you really are? Why? Please, I just wanted to turn myself into Carrie from War of the Worlds. References. When you would want to turn you into the Carrie from War of the Worlds, what will you make around you? What will lead to cause? You just wanted a part in a theatre play. But on the route to the part in the theatre play, you wanted the position of Carrie in the particular muse, play, theatre, work, film, movie, whatever that was. Would you not put thought to what you would make around you? You would just want a particular act in a particular play. When one would want the role of Carrie from War of the Worlds, what would that tell you then? My fair lady used to go with. That's a quote that's not going to fall under like if you continue with it. Now we are in a life of sensitivity, whether we like it, sensitivity, whether we like it or not. My fair lady would go with, and what would you have from a media to portray the script? But you would want to joke that you are one of the My Fair Ladies that was in India's past. That you were one of the heroines. But then a chemical you might have turned to. Oh, heroin sounds like, yes. My fair lady on the horse and the cart. An Indian might have told you. Well, they have learned to talk. You have seen it in Goodness Gracious Me. That's how you fit in society, community, or locality, areas, cities, towns. But when you would want to turn into My Fair Lady on the horse and the cart, because you wanted the role of Carrie in the theatre, you wanted the part, what will you make around you? The use of an rival, the use of a, well, they were past soldiers, ours. Make it fight. Just for the role of carrying War of the Worlds. One particular has unearthed not only stereotype but on the race because they could not get the position that one would have not wanted. The role of carry requires certain genders. Are you ready and prepared to put on foundation? You recall the muse, but then it's an amuse. You recall the music of a particular talk. You recall the muse, yes? You recall a particular muse, hick, reference, and who Carrie was. You have not got the descript of what Carrie was, the position of role I've said, or have you? Have you heard it in full? Well, I know what I am like. Particular muse, particular sound, maybe I will put I like that, I won't like that. Ha! I knew it. You used to press fast forward on a personal stereo then. What's a personal stereo? We are back in those days, so we need to provide the article of concern that would create a want to act in a certain manner known to cool. Yes. Walk and talk, placing ears. But in a particular zone, one can place one under mental, autistic. Why? Autistic because you are zoned on a particular point. You have the world to hear in the ears. Have you got the know of the world around? Well, I've said all right to that guy. So, well, I've said all right to her. No, oh dear. I've said all right to you. I've said all right to you. Back to my autistic. Can one continue? My autistic side. In the past, one would fit in the society and the community. It was good that one would humor and mock. My Fair Lady was Indian. It was based on the horse and the cart. Proof. But then the result. But I'm not the only one to use the particular quote. In fact, it was tutored to me. So I must put the blame, I must put the fault on the tutor to thee. London Bridge was falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge was falling down. My Fair Lady. Ah. Who's My Fair Lady? London Bridge was falling down. I'm sorry for the ones sensitive to the terror incidents that have taken place, but it's some part of causes that one will try to calculate. If you were to put that in a literal sense, one that would interpret music quotes from a literal point of talk, then what they have done has put a photo to it. So where does that influence get sent from? So I put the fault to the tutor because we have to do the muse with. London Bridge was falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge was falling down, my fair lady. So was it a man that mused it primary? The concern to the fair lady on London Bridge then. Whoa, I think I'm going a bit ahead of my own cells inside. Because you have done the particular quote now, would you take a few minutes and put that forward? There doesn't seem to be any deletes. Yes. Someone known to skip on London Bridge backwards and forwards, but they're not the fair lady to you. They, me, or anyone new to. Well, one must understand the Sheikh side, because it will have an influence. You can do that. I'm sick of the misses inside. Can you please tell? Oh dear, we have influenced in the conversion. I think the reference of shit, stay quiet will now work. Please talk and share. Share. You're gonna get done, man. You're gonna get done. You're gonna get done, lad. Let's think of another route, another result, another thought. What can we think? Thought two. Now. If London Bridge was falling down and it was My Fair Lady. Oh! So it was the work of an Indian and they have proved it with the terror. Conclusions in the results zones. Yes, sir, ma'am. Well, that seems worthy of route to become not only a tutor, but now prof. Yes, sir. Wow. What a concluded results that you have handed then. If London Bridge was falling down, the horse and carts was My Fair Lady. They went to India. That was the route of normal get around them. Travel. Yes. Guy. My Fair Lady might have caught the eye of the Indian, or the Indian might have caught the eye of the My Fair Lady. Whatever way around that was. Have you concluded? Have you concluded? Have you concluded in full? You recall the Daleks from Doctor Who? Stone it, stone it, stone it, stone it. What life's in the particular costumes then, to talk around, walk around, stone it, stone it. Guy, you are not going to get to the result that you are not going to talk. Why? Guy. Well, they have answered it already with the mockery of the community that they were in. That's why. My Fair Lady was the work of an Indian. They have then resulted with terror, and now is the heroine to arrive, skip down. London Bridge was falling around, down. But then you have tutored that to the individual pupils in the schools that you were in. You have taught that to the students. Yes. The particular quotes. Have you caused, do you understand that you may fall under? You also may fall under cause. The scripts are still the ones that did it. But can you understand the reactions that are then led from what goes under top? Would you understand the cause that you make? Well, if one was to interpret it from a literal sense, Mr. Tupac Shakur's can sometimes fall under that. It's life, it's the way we are. If someone wanted to then quote that out loud, London Bridge was falling down, My Fair Lady, they would need a guy around because they would not like, etc., etc. London Bridge is falling down, My Fair Lady. So really, the terror group have sorted out what you wanted. from a literal point of view. So then what one does then puts oneself under, well, that's a confusion that I can't really work out right now. So I'm going to have to put it to thought. In order to heal any incidents that occurred there, took place, wants to arrive and try to motivate, they're going to skip backwards and forwards. They arrive with the yellow suits and all the jackets, velcros, fluorescent colors. Oh dear. Like the lollipop man. Yeah. Well, it's work. Safety. Second, for some. What would that tell you in terms of whether that will heal the incidents that have then occurred where the incidents have occurred then? You had to look at heal factors, so we had to go in the heal factors in full. So London Bridge is falling down. My fair lady caught the eye of an Indian, or the Indian caught the eye of my fair lady. Like, that's normal. That's why. Fine. That's not the point that one's trying to make. What's the point that one's trying to make? Who wants the role of my fair lady on the horse and cart then? Who wants to take over anyone other than the one the Indian would like, or the one that would like the Indian? Guy. Would not like. Indian, are you going to get to pick? Why? Guy. Then you're going to pick Indian and put yourself behind. My fair lady. Blah, blah. The point that you're then trying to make. Well, if one's not my fair lady, then who's my fair lady to you? Guy. Wasn't you. You ain't Carrie? The particular muse that have gone in the ears might have an influence near. So this is that particular one that was carried to you, and horn, moon, phone, sun, oh dear, Kai. So who was carried to you? You may have had a particular watch of certain parts, but you may not have understood because you would have another thought. In particular, you would refer not to the muse. I can understand how that would work. You would hear the muse, you have not watched the movie. You didn't watch the film like you did, like me did, like I did, like she did, like he did, like you did, like we did, like you didn't. Oh dear. Like you, well, we get to the point and we get to the result. Now, would you then understand what reactions can cause from said acts behind the curtains, behind the scenes, or whatever you would want to talk? Because it has not portrayed where I have seen, where I have watched, where I have not looked, where you have looked, where you have looked. But that's not the concern. We have to find out. In order to heal the lives that have gone, that are victims of the said terror incidents, one has gone down, one would assume, with the yellow jackets on, with the reflectors in the back, and try to heal the population's concerns in London with the particular quote of London's, what one would understand from a need point of view, due to you need to get from one side to the well, one side to another, one side to the other. What goes in the particular, and I think it's now race, it's not stereotype. What goes in the particular race thoughts? Okay, we can look at it from one point of talk. If it's a terror incident, then it's all of you. All of you like that. It happens to all of us. One cause, and then it's all. Whatever description you fall in, you have seen a crime, you will recall that that's the full race, the full stereotype life. It's all of you. You won't get out of it. So for the race that the descript that one the race that one for the descript that one for the script that I am, then I would fall under with, because of said life to have done that. So that means for me, it's not a good idea to go down to London and enjoy life like once in life in London do. How the sights are, to take in when you are not in life there, and you are not one of the ones that work there, understand the pressures of how to get to work at the hour that one will try to. What's the point that one's trying to make from that? The one to put themselves in the position on the horse and cart and descript that they are the my fair lady to you when they aren't. A talk outside that they have put you in a relation with, you have no idea how, why. So they have ruined a part of life that you have lived. Yes. What can you do? They may continue to ruin that life because they are just like that. Stereotypical moves to race. We won't deny it. But the presentation does not seem to have any stereotype or race to it. If you review or look at the pronunciation or the effort to make the pronunciation that's done, you will understand that there's a character or personality behind the said person. We all do it. We all have a certain, we have to put an act on it. If I am to read a particular quote from the particular paper, then one's going to pronounce it in a certain sound, because you would have to talk to a crowd, an audience. You would have to talk to a few. Who's around you where you are? What's around you? Well, what scenario are you in? There's no one around you at all. Who are you in talks with? I talk to you. You talk to you. You talk to you. Yes. Oh yes, my mum's brother does that particular work. Mr. De Niro's script of "You Are Talking to You" would make sense to a certain part of you that you would not want to answer. You would not want to continue what Mr. De Niro had in plan on that particular day. You are not going to recall the name in the particular script, in the particular movie, in the film. You would not know the film, because then that's what goes on to the projector. The projector then has the film that goes on the red lights, dark rooms, etc., etc. What do you pull yourself back to in thought at all from the proceed and to the end, and why the London cross path was not to fall? So you have to look at any causes behind the scenes, behind the curtains, that will cause reactions inside said cells and lead to that particular act to become that kind of particular person. You are not going to remember the name of and the act after the who's talking to you was to act versus. Quite lucky they did not follow through with that particular act on the day. So now you must answer any travel anywhere in the land where you are and the purposes of travel. If you have moved from one zone to another, what was the purpose of travel when you went there? Sorry, that's not him, Mr. De Niro. That's him. I will recall the name in the particular script. It's just going to go out of memory before I have to relate it to another thought of what has causes to act in said manner, fashion. You see, one particular tutor and the pupils that were under the tutor taught would want the sensitive talks to talk out. One would try to avoid them. They are not talks that one would want to talk in because politics wasn't for myself, wasn't for me. And that will go with the photo, not for my starting also. That will go with the photo, and it will go under the quote, politics wasn't for me. That's all. The style of mockery doesn't seem to suit the individual lives or sorts. Try to understand what life really was. So how can one address that in full? Well, the idiots that have done what they have done, idiots, what can you do? They have done that. You would want to guarantee that they would never do that now. Yes? It relates back to you because you fall under the script. You can't go anywhere, you can't travel. Life in London City, for one that doesn't have to work there 22 hours, can turn fun. To enjoy the hairs of the muse of the past. Sit in the cafe or lay shop outlets and just enjoy life in part. Well, you would have to still work, you cannot get out of that, but in a part tourist sort kind form. That's why. Why they would then do that? Well, if you are to place yourself in the horse and cart to caught the eye of the Indian, but the Indian would not like you, so you would want the work of one that's under well, when they won't like me, I want to get that one to like. I want the use of, we have force back in our land. Why can't we not get force here? Why? You had to throw a tantrum. You had to cry. I really want. It's not just my fair lady, it's my fair guy. So what do we conclude with? Well, you'll find that the results are then the causes behind the scenes in position. In addition to not only the ones that have acted in the said manner, but then the reasons behind the reasons why said have acted in said manner. Reactions to the skulls of the past. Well, you've reacted, so why have you not done that? And then you will understand that one's not fallen under the said act causes calm side that one would have to find out why in full. Because you are not a terror sort, why aren't you now? It becomes tactics that would have to continue from said tutors, pupils, from said pasts, presents. So then what would one do? It's not a relation to a particular role. I would not have to even talk that. I would not even want to consider that. It should not even go under talk, because that's a fool to talk in full, while one would talk that at all. So then what would you do? I'll put myself under the script of life in London. It's a coffee shop. Social. Yeah. Can you understand reactionary causes? Causes in full. So if we had to talk causes of said terror acts, then you must look behind the scenes, behind the curtains. You must look at the causes why said lies have not done terror, why certain quotes from verses, scriptures can then get pulled out and sent. Why have they not really done that in life? So you then look at the real terror, cause, sus, crim in full. And when it becomes law, what will that tell you? The tutor from the past has the position, the role you haven't. You ain't got. And whatever they will talk, you must follow. I do not still use the left hand to eat my food. I use my right one. I understand the manners that take place in certain scenarios, in certain houses. However, I still eat with my right. The knife and fork, I use the right one. What will that tell you behind the scenes, behind the curtains, of what are the causes not only of terror, but then reactions, wind-ups, and what that cause further? I'm sorry to shame, said tutor. They are kind on one side, but because of the one that would want the My Fair Lady act, the role of carrying War of the Worlds, and the whole world to go with it, or whatever they would have wanted, the presents that they have not got, were they spoilt or not, or whatever all that was. What do we conclude with? There are other causes of terror, and only individuals that did them.